Time now for Focus. And abortion in Germany is a complicated affair. It is permitted when medically necessary or up to 12 weeks of pregnancy following counselling sessions. But it's still not entirely legal, and doctors who openly advertise that they carry out abortions are breaking the law. As a result, less and less doctors are doing them. The topic, until very recently, has remained largely taboo, but in recent days and weeks, protesters on both sides of the debate have taken to the streets. And Maye and Nick Spicer, our correspondents in Berlin, send us this report.
These women want something understood. In Germany, getting an abortion is a struggle.
Die deutsche Gesetzgebung zu Schwangerschaftsabbrüchen kriminalisieren Personen, die abtreiben wollen, und Ärztinnen, die darüber informieren.
That's because Germany never legalized abortion, only decriminalizing it in 1976. It is still a taboo subject.
It's very difficult for women. Some studies show that they still don't tell their friends and family they've had an abortion because it's looked down upon. In Germany, abortion is still seen a bit like murder.
Our health minister went so far as to say that women take the morning after pill like candy. That gives you an idea of the state of mind here.
Bettina Gaber knows that mentality well. The Berlin gynecologist does abortions and says so on her internet site. But according to the German criminal code, that's advertising for abortions and illegal. She faces a 10,000 euro fine.
These past few years, the pressure has really grown on doctors who practice abortions. So, unsurprisingly, fewer and fewer gynecologists will do them. In some places, there's no one who'll do one for 200 kilometers.
Here's an example. In Passau, in southern Germany, a strongly Catholic region. No public hospital here does abortions. Michael Spandau is the only doctor in all of eastern Bavaria who does, in his private clinic. And since he can't inform his patients, women often find his address on anti-abortion websites.
In reality, it's often the anti-abortion people who write things about me on the internet, and that's how many women find me. My opponents are, in fact, shooting themselves in the foot.
Spandau officially retired 3 years ago, but keeps going. Because in this region, women in distress can't count on public institutions.
I have already had 2 rape victims who had to come to me. It's a shame, a scandal, to see that the public authorities refuse to help a woman who is pregnant because she was raped.
For the local family planning agency, it is also more and more difficult to help women who have unwanted pregnancies. For Tora Fricke, German law not only deprives women of their right to choose, but also discourages doctors from practicing abortions.
These women have the right to be informed, and it is absolutely wrong to deprive them of information and to discriminate against and penalize doctors who give out information. It's not normal to trample on the rights of women and doctors.
But the pressure from anti-abortion militants grows ever stronger, on the internet and on the streets. Last Saturday, several thousand people demonstrated in Berlin against the right to abortion.
You just need to get a little information about abortion to realize how horrible it is. We kill human beings in a brutal way. It's intolerable.
We demand that the right to life be considered more important than the rights of the individual. So in this case, the woman who carries a life in her belly.
It's pressure like this which explains why only 1,200 German doctors do abortions, a 40% drop in 15 years. And it's why these young women student doctors in Berlin are fighting to get the abortion procedure taught at university, which is not automatically the case in Germany.
The doctors who do abortions now started 40 years ago when it was a subject of public debate and they were politically engaged. But recently we've fallen asleep. So our goal is to make sure that students hear about it during their studies, so they have an idea what it's about and are able to say, yes, I want to learn how to do abortions, and I will look for a job in a hospital that offers them.
40 years after the women's liberation movement, the subject is more important than ever. The government is supposed to present a plan to reform the abortion law by the end of the year.
Misleading information about the supposed physical